Have you ever seen a cartoon character come to life on screen? That's animation. Animation is the art of creating the illusion of movement by displaying a series of still images in rapid succession. These images can be hand-drawn, computer-generated, or even created using physical objects. Animation is like magic, taking still images and making them move. Imagine flipping through a flipbook where each page has a slightly different drawing. When you flip the pages quickly, the images appear to move. This is the basic principle behind animation. It's how we see superheroes fly and dinosaurs roam again. Animation brings to life the impossible, allowing us to experience fantastical worlds and characters that would be impossible to capture with live-action filming alone. But how do computers create these moving worlds? The process involves complex software and skilled animators who meticulously craft each frame. They use a variety of tools and techniques to bring their visions to life, from traditional hand-drawn methods to cutting-edge digital technology. There are two main types of computer animation, 2D and 3D. 2D animation, or 2D, involves creating flat images that move in a two-dimensional space. This style is often used for cartoons and traditional animated films. 2D animation is like drawing a flipbook. Each page has a slightly different picture, and when you flip through them quickly, it looks like the image is moving. This method has been used for decades and remains popular for its unique charm and artistic style. Each page has a slightly different picture, and when you flip through them quickly, it looks like the image is moving. This technique requires a lot of skill and patience, as animators must draw each frame by hand to ensure smooth motion. 3D animation is like building a puppet. In 3D animation, artists create digital models that can be manipulated in a three-dimensional space. These models are like virtual puppets, which animators can move and pose to create lifelike motion. You create a digital model and then use a computer to move it around. This allows for incredibly detailed and realistic animations, as the models can be textured, lit, and rendered to look almost like real objects. Computer animation allows us to create amazing things, from realistic dinosaurs in movies to fun characters in video games. The possibilities are endless, limited only by the imagination and creativity of the animators. It's a fascinating world where art meets technology. Animation combines artistic talent with technical skill, resulting in a medium that can tell stories, evoke emotions, and transport audiences to new and exciting worlds. Imagine drawing hundreds of pictures, each one slightly different from the last. That's the traditional way to create animation. It's a lot of work. Thankfully, computers can help. In 2D animation, artists draw keyframes, which are important poses in the animation. Then, the computer fills in the gaps between those keyframes, a process called tweening. This creates smooth and fluid movement. Software like Adobe Animate and Toon Boom Harmony are essential tools for 2D animators. They provide all the tools needed to create amazing characters and stories. While 2D animation is like drawing on paper, 3D animation is like sculpting with clay. We create digital models in a virtual space with 3 dimensions: length, width, and height. This allows for more realistic and dynamic movement. 3D animation starts with modeling, where we create the shape and look of our characters and objects. We then add a skeleton to our models, called rigging, which allows us to move them like puppets. 3D animation opens up a world of possibilities, allowing us to create anything we can imagine. Imagine building a skeleton for a drawing. This is the foundation of any character, whether it's a simple stick figure or a complex, detailed human form. The skeleton provides the basic structure that everything else is built upon. In the world of animation, this process is known as rigging. That's what rigging is like in 3D animation. Rigging involves creating a digital skeleton that can be manipulated to bring characters to life. This digital skeleton is made up of joints and bones, much like a real skeleton, but it exists entirely within the computer. We create a digital skeleton with joints and bones, which allows us to pose and animate our characters. Each joint can be moved and rotated, giving the animator control over the character's movements. This is crucial for creating realistic and believable animations. Modeling is like shaping clay. Just as a sculptor molds clay into a desired shape, a 3D artist uses software to mold and sculpt digital objects. This process involves creating the basic shape and then refining it, adding details and textures to make it look realistic. We use special software to mold and sculpt our 3D objects, adding details and textures to make them look realistic. This software allows us to create intricate designs and add fine details that would be difficult to achieve by hand. It's like having a virtual art studio at our fingertips. With the right tools, we can create anything we can imagine, from simple shapes to complex, detailed models. This virtual studio gives us the freedom to experiment and refine our designs until they are perfect. Modeling and rigging are essential steps in bringing our 3D characters to life, giving them the ability to move and interact with their environment. Without these processes, our characters would be static and lifeless. By combining modeling and rigging, we can create dynamic, engaging animations that captivate and entertain. Once our three-dimensional models are rigged, we can start the fascinating journey of bringing them to life. Rigging is the process of creating the skeleton of the 3D model, which allows it to move in a realistic manner. This step is crucial as it sets the foundation for all subsequent animation work. Without a proper rig, even the most detailed models would remain static and lifeless. It's time to make them move. Animation is where the magic truly happens. By manipulating the rig, animators can create a wide range of movements, from subtle gestures to dynamic actions. This is where creativity and technical skill come together to produce captivating performances. We use different animation techniques to bring our characters to life. Each technique has its own strengths and is chosen based on the specific needs of the project. Whether it's traditional keyframing, motion capture, or procedural animation, each method contributes to the overall storytelling. Keyframing is like creating a flipbook for each movement. Animators set key poses at specific frames, and the computer generates the in-between frames to create smooth transitions. This technique allows for precise control over the character's actions and is often used for complex sequences. We set key poses at specific frames, ensuring that the character's movements are fluid and natural. This process requires a keen eye for detail and a deep understanding of motion dynamics. Each keyframe acts as a milestone in the animation, guiding the character's journey from one pose to the next, and the computer fills in the gaps, creating a seamless flow of motion. This automated process, known as in-betweening or tweening, saves time and effort while maintaining the quality of the animation. It allows animators to focus on the key moments that define the character's performance. Motion capture, or mocap, uses sensors to record the movements of real actors. This technique captures the nuances of human motion, making it ideal for realistic and lifelike animations. By mapping the recorded data onto the 3D model, animators can achieve a high level of authenticity in the character's actions, which we can then apply to our characters. This process bridges the gap between live-action performance and digital animation, allowing for a seamless blend of the two. Motion capture is widely used in film, video games, and virtual reality to create immersive experiences. Procedural animation uses algorithms and physics to create realistic movement. This technique is particularly useful for simulating natural phenomena such as hair blowing in the wind or a ball bouncing. By leveraging the power of mathematics and computer science, procedural animation can generate complex behaviors that would be difficult to achieve manually, like hair blowing in the wind or a ball bouncing. These small details add a layer of realism to the animation, enhancing the overall visual experience. Procedural animation is often used in conjunction with other techniques to create a rich and dynamic world. Each technique adds a unique flavor to our animations. By combining different methods, animators can create diverse and engaging content that resonates with audiences. The choice of technique depends on the artistic vision and technical requirements of the project, making animation a versatile and ever-evolving field. Creating animations requires a lot of computer power. Imagine trying to draw thousands of pictures every second. That's where CPUs and GPUs come in. The CPU, or Central Processing Unit, is like the brain of the computer. It handles all the calculations and instructions needed to create the animation. The GPU, or Graphics Processing Unit, is like a powerful graphics card. It helps render the images and create the final animation. CPUs and GPUs work together to bring our animations to life like a well-oiled machine. Animators use special software to create their masterpieces. These programs provide all the tools needed to model, rig, animate, and render three-dimensional characters and environments. Popular animation software includes Autodesk Maya, Blender, and Cinema 4D. These programs are like digital art studios, allowing animators to unleash their creativity. The world of animation is constantly evolving. New technologies are emerging that are changing the way we create and experience animation. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is being used to automate tasks and create more realistic animations. Virtual reality, or VR, allows us to step inside animated worlds and interact with them like never before. Real-time rendering allows us to see changes to our animations instantly, speeding up the creative process. The future of animation is full of exciting possibilities. Who knows what amazing worlds we'll create next? From hand-drawn cartoons to realistic CGI characters, animation has come a long way. Computers have revolutionized the way we create and experience animated stories. As technology continues to advance, the possibilities of animation are limitless. Who knows what amazing worlds we'll create next? So keep watching, keep imagining, and keep exploring